the primary thing, or the most simplistic way to look at it, is, the Earth is a battery or a capacitor that's charged by the sun. The sun is spewing electrons and photons, and they hit the Earth. And when, in fact, this weekend we had a major aurora borealis, and that's all electrons coming down and through the magnetic field and hitting and being deposited on the Earth. And so the Earth maintains a static. It's kind of dynamic, but it's a surface charge. Static surface charge. I mean, it's always there. It goes up and down a little bit and does, moves around, but it's really it's constant. Let's put it that way. It's so the Earth is the Earth is electrical, and the Earth is infinitely large relative to the body, and the human body being relatively infinitely small. So when you put your bare foot on the Earth and your skin is conductive, that means that the electrical surface charge of the Earth will flow into your body, or your body will instantly absorb sufficient electrons from the Earth that it maintains the same pro rata electrical potential as the Earth itself. So the most significant thing about being grounded, you kind of have to think, we ground our outlets, we ground the chassis of all of our major appliances. We do that to prevent fire, to prevent overloads, for a lot of reasons, but primarily to maintain the electrical stability of the grid and all things electrical in our homes and in living environment. And but what that grounding is about is, in every home you have a rod that's driven into the Earth, and it's called it's earth. It's earthing. I mean, it's an earthing rod. And so then you connect a wire to it and run it into the electrical system, and then you run it throughout the electrical system of the home. And on every outlet, there's a third prong, that round hole is connected to that ground. Then when you plug in a refrigerator or a computer that has a ground, then that ground port is connected to the chassis, to the metal housing of the refrigerator or the wash machine or the computer or whatever. And so that if for any reason there's an electrical event or a short, then electrons can immediately come from the Earth to reduce that charge and trip a breaker. So it's all about fire and prevention and electrical safety and all of these things. But the main thing is, to ground something is to reduce the potential of an electrical event. And that electrical event is primarily fire. Because, so I don't know if that makes sense, but it's kind of a simplistic overview of it.
Absolutely. And then when we make the corollary to our bodies, we've got inflammation, which would be that fire within our own cells that we're trying to sort of bring down by being grounded, by being connected to the Earth.
When I started this 25 years ago, I would say not 1 in 1,000 people looked at their body as being electrical. I'm not electrical, I'm chemical, I'm vitamin C, I'm this, I'm that, I'm all these things. And but nobody looked at their body. But now today, everything in the body is electrical first. Every single cell in the body, how it takes in food and eliminates waste or debris from the cell is through an electrical process. Polarization and repolarization, where it's taking swapping the electrical surface charge on the cell from the inside to the outside, and so on and so on. It's a little technical, but basically everything, every single cell, every single transaction in the body, whether it's a cell, communicating with its neighbor, or if it's a liver cell connecting with the rest of the liver or the body. They all are transceivers, meaning they can transmit information, they can receive information. And to put it simply, the way they pronounce you dead is there's no electrical activity left in your brain. That's when they pronounce you dead. But before that, every single cell, every thought, everything in your body starts with an electrical impulse, an electrical prompt, and then that changes or promotes, chemical responses, hormonal, or the body creates lots of, minerals, and I mean not minerals, but um, non-electrical things, like hormones and all these things. But again, they're all fundamentally, everything is electrical. Your body's electrical first, chemical second. It takes the movement of an electron to change anything chemical, and so it's really quite simple, but we've never been taught to look at it that way. And it's even the word inflammation, meaning inflame, on fire. That's a word that surfaced around 2004, just 20 years ago. And before then, now today, everything is about inflammation. All the health disorders. Now they know that most modern health disorders are inflammation related.